Hello and everybody. We're going to do a quick game. Just a bunch of my friends have been playing this game. They were trying to figure out what they did wrong. So we're just going to kind of look to break it down, see what they're doing. Hopefully we can get a little bit more insight in terms of what things went right and what went wrong. Let's see real quick. A little bit of a fight. Arrow gets caught out. The leader just kind of starting it out. I don't really know if that damage was worth it. Yes, you have 6 tangos, but I think you're just kind of in a bad spot. That really wasn't worth it, I think, at the end of the day. So, checking out the mid, we have Kimitu. He's going to try to block out. One of the creeps does get through. The soccer ball does get blocked in the end. So, a little bit of mid action here. Let's check out the last hits, which is, of course, very important here. We'll come back to this one. Alright, so laning here, Tiny for offlane LC against the CK Oracle. I think it's okay. The only thing is that obviously the CK's got to, he's on a bit of a timer in the sense that he needs to kind of just take advantage of what he has. If they go late game, he's going to suffer against the Spectre. But the lanes are in a pretty decent spot for the Dire. Now, mind you, these guys, all the Dire team is a bunch of my friends, so I'm a little bit biased. I'm going to try to help them out. Obviously, there's a lot going on with that. But Cuckoo Link, Oracle now just kind of getting a shot off in. Fortune's End is going to slow him down. He can fight through that, even though he's rooted. But this lane will push, and Greenspan taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to back off on that. It's kind of tough to kind of lane against the CK. It's a bit of an issue, so he does need to be a bit careful. So the Radiant Tide do hit level 2 first. And notice that he does it with the stick. So a little bit of the spamming of the spells. Not like he has the mana for it. But LC getting very low. He's playing a little bit dangerous. The stun is going to be there. And a couple more right clicks. And that's going to be first blood. Way too low. Completely out of position. Not great. Not a great start with that. Alright. Let's go back to the top lane. Lion here just gets stunned up. He does get a one-man stun. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, this is the offlane Mirana, so a little bit of an issue. Obviously, you want to get a 2-man stun here. The lanes are in a decent spot where the tower's not hitting. The mana drain's not going to really do much work. This Observer Ward... Oh, arrow off the mark. Don't think Lion saw that one. Nonetheless, Soul Ring is going to be the first item for the Spectre. I think that's okay, especially when you want to start spamming out. You do need to be a bit careful. I think that you're way too low in mana. You always want to be around 200. There's no point in getting like 2 daggers. You need to manage your mana a little bit better here. So the damage is going to be spread around 0 to hero. You're really not zoning. Like this is like you have to think of yourself as like a bouncer in the sense that you're like protecting Spectre, right? You're taking all this damage because all of these guys are being hurt, and you're literally just soaking up XP. You're not doing anything. You're not pulling, and now you got hit by an arrow, so that's just super embarrassing. And now you're going to get right-clicked, some more damage, and then you're going to be completely zoned out. Right now, absolutely useless. You should not be in the trees. I mean, for shame, you should be. But you should just be out of this lane, go back to the fountain, get out of here, because you are contributing nothing. You have no mana or no health to kind of fight through, and now you're just kind of sapping a lot of XP. So you do need to be a bit careful in that sense. The dagger, another wasted one. You're wasting way too much mana. Really no point for that. So let us be careful with how that's going to be. Now, Spectre does get the Soul Ring, and again, you're literally just stealing XP from Spectre. You're level 3. You're doing some cardio. I don't know what you're doing. You need to get out of here. You picked up the wards. Go out. Go stack. Go do something. This is a waste of time, and now you're literally just back there. Yeah, you got tangos on the way, but you're not contributing anything. Now you have to pull the wave, which you missed, and now Spectre's in a world of hurt because he can't actually get to the creep wave, which is all being pushed down here. This is a perfect position for the Radiant side. So if you're talking about in the initial first 5 minutes, yeah, Spectre has 16 last hits, but he should have way more because the creep wave should be back here somewhere. You should be pulling, you should be throwing this in. Now Spectre's wasting a lot of time. He's wasted some mana, which is way too low. And another thing is that, yeah, I'm harping on you, Lion, but the thing is that Lion, as a support, you have to win the first 10 minutes, okay? anytime that the Spectre is kind of by himself like this, you're wasting a lot of time and you're not contributing anything. And you're actually stealing XP. The arrow does connect. It's going to do more damage, and he's going to have a lot more there. So just things to note, right? Now, if we're going to the mid lane, level 5 versus level 5, this Tango should not be here, okay? You either put it in the backpack, but this Mantle of Intelligence, which is all what you're trying to do, it gives you more damage. Obviously, you're an intelligence hero, so a lot of the base damage. So now you're being completely zoned out. You got to make sure that you get them off the tower. Just attack it so that you aggro these 3, and then they get onto you and off the tower, okay? And so then you pull them back, pull them even further back so that the tower can potentially hit Medusa. You have to understand the tower aggro, and mind you, this Mantle of Intelligence is still in your backpack, and you're wasting a lot of time. You're trying to be cute and trying to micro that Satyr. Not really going to do much. Tiny here. And it's been kind of quiet in the bottom lane. Greenspan, obviously... Okay. Saw an Avalanche coming in for Oracle, and he's just going to heal himself on up. CK's going to look to just kind of sway him, and then Tiny's in a bad spot. He gets pulled down through. The stun as well. It's going to be... Actually... With Fortune's End, that might lock you in. Cuckoo Link, you're in a bad spot. You just need to make sure you run. Oh, you do have Tranquil, so you should be okay. You're just wasting a lot of time. Greenspan should not be wasting time knowing that you're running away and they cannot fight. Greenspan should be focusing on the lanes and pushing out and getting as many lasts as he can. Obviously, you guys are doing pretty well, with the top 3 being from your side. So you've actually done pretty well in the top lane. Now, if you're looking at last hits versus tower damage, you're actually losing, right? Like this tower, at this stage, 6 minutes... Medusa's been pushing hard, and that's ideal for a mid. This is what we're talking about when we have a good mid, because it's creating pressure. Once this tower goes down, it's a huge strategic position where you have to then respect this amount of space. Like, for him to just TP on in, he can get into you. Now, your... wow, that did a lot of damage. Your, whatchamacallit, the Untouchable. Oh, Tiny's coming through. He does have Tranquil. He's a little bit... He's just kind of zipping through the river. But unfortunately, no toss or anything of that sort. Medusa has boots, but she's saving up for 1,200. A lot of gold unnecessarily. Enchantress here. Again, still no Mantle of Intelligence. I'll swap in through. Cuckoo Link just kind of... I don't know what you were doing. The Mystic Snake doing a lot of damage. You need to have a stick. If he's going to spam it... And look at this. Mana. It's perfect. Right? She can spam that all day because she's been managing her mana. This is what's so important. This is why you suffer as Spectre with less than half mana. Like, you don't need to be... You have literally 1 spell. That means you've been spamming that 1 spell way too much. Like, again, you didn't even get last hits with that. If you're getting last hits for the range creep, I get it. Makes sense. But if you're just spamming it willy-nilly and you're literally pushing the lane like that, that did nothing to you. Okay? Like, you did more damage to the creeps, and then you pushed it out, and yeah, it's here, but it's in a bad spot. It's not any... Again, spamming of Dagger. Yes, with the Soul Ring, you've got that there, but there has to be a purpose for it, in the sense that you're hitting a guy, you're getting a last hit. That's the ideal situation. Now you're very, very low. You have to be super careful. Oh, and the arrow! Oh my god, Zero to Hero just kind of jumped on that grenade, but I don't think Zero to Hero really meant to do that. He's been hit by about 3 or 4 arrows this game, so you're very prone to getting hits. Now, mind you, Mirana has no mana, so this is definitely something you need to be careful about, but you're just spamming mana. Really, what's the point, right? There has to be a reason why you're casting spells, okay? This is when I think that there was a discussion where, you know, when you're TPing mid, oh, another arrow hits on Zero to Hero. That's another couple right clicks. He's perfectly aggroing that with the tower there, not taking any extra damage. But again, mana needs to be high in the event that somebody dives. Like, you want to fight? How are you going to fight against this? You can't. Even if the TP goes in, oh my gosh, look at this tower. He's going to get, did I? Okay, does not care about the die. And he's going to Stone Gaze you and locks you into play. Oh! And he gets the kill. Wow, that was lucky. But I don't think it was worth it for the T1. So, Enchantress here, kind of trading the T1 for a single kill at this stage, just to kind of put that in perspective. You got about 303 gold for that, yes, but they got 90 gold for everyone on their team. And then, in addition to that, obviously, this is the most important tower, okay? I know that you think like the T4s or whatever are, but these are not relevant till the end game, and even then, they're just kind of like a little bit of a bump, I would say, in the road, because it really doesn't do a whole lot, especially late game, right? This T1 gives you all of this vision, all of this right here. You can control it, not to mention that you can TP onto it. So again, you need to prioritize that. If you're getting bullied out of the lane like that, like this Medusa did a really awesome job in the sense of, yeah, last hits or whatever, 39, 39 to your 41 or whatever, it's kind of a wash. But if you're looking at net worth, which is the most important thing, you're behind. Doesn't seem like it because you think, oh, with net worth, and yeah, you're kind of just bouncing around. But at this point, it's kind of negligible because you have a couple more last hits. But the thing is that you don't have this T1. Now, the Medusa can run around, she can continue to jungle, and then she can also make her presence known in all of the other lanes. Now, if this was a normal mid, in the sense of like a high-impact, somewhat mobile hero, like a Quap, Puck, a Storm, any of these heroes, they could really do a lot of damage and they can make their presence known in all of the lanes. She can effectively win all 3 lanes, which obviously puts you in a huge, in a bad spot. And also, if you notice, the Medusa here picks up the Tomb of Knowledge, very, very selfish. But I guess you're going to take what you're going to do. I mean, you're going to snowball in, and apparently these other supports, actually, they should get it. Seeing as they're both level 5, I think this is very selfish Medusa. Shame on her. But nonetheless, still farming here. What was the point of that Hex? Hex does no damage. Okay? So you again... Earth Spike, yes. Last hit, yes. If she's gonna go for a last hit, that's when you Earth Spike her. Like you can kind of see when they're getting very low. Like now is the time, perfectly. And then maybe Spectre can kind of swoop on in, get the deny. You need to kind of work that through. Now you're only level 5. You have 2 wards. Okay. Unfortunately, you don't get any interest on these wards. So just holding these things, it's a waste of time. Enchantress here. Back in the mid. She's got phase. I don't know what she's going item for next. She should be shift clicking the next item. And mind you, she needs to be kind of pushing the lane. Like she needs to be like last hits, not really important. It's all about the net worth now. If you're looking at Medusa, right? Has that tower. She can just jungle like crazy. She can just go back and forth. If we're looking at CK, okay, not in a bad spot. Net worth is still kind of similar to the LC's what you want. LC is not an easy laner to go up against, especially because it's a melee hero. You do have Moonlight here. I don't think you're going to do anything. Oh, he gets the crit and the heal, but not much else. So I kind of feel like that was a wasted opportunity there. LC going straight up Blade Mail. Let's just kind of skip on through this. We don't need to see what is going on with the pauses. Somebody's very good at this Meepo thing. All right, awesome. Okay, Fortune 7 one more time. Kind of locks him into place. Really no point. Does have a shovel. Okay, you're not tread switching properly. You should be on intelligence right before you cast a spell. Obviously, you don't have any spells or you're not doing anything right now. You do have Blade Mail. I don't think you want to. Okay, there we go. You're going to back off on that now. Yeah, I don't know if Blade Mail is the right choice. I don't know if like Treads is as well. Especially since you're not going like Blink or anything. But I guess if you want to go... Like I feel like one, you or the Tiny need to be initiators, right? As a position 4. And Tiny's a little bit behind. Been roaming, but not really to any kills to his or her name. So that's a little unfortunate. Not much going on. You really, Tiny, as a support 4, you need to make sure that, yes, every time you're rotating, you're doing something. You're getting something out of it. Either like stacking, either making sure that you're getting a kill. You're just forcing the initiative in the sense of you're forcing people to, like, they're free farming. What are you doing here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, okay, you're pausing. Okay, so maybe... All right, a little bit of an issue with the internet. We're going to speed this one up. Get on out of this. Okay. One more time. More Meepo game. That's actually a fun one. But, okay, back to the game. So, Medusa here with Maelstrom already. Oof, that does a lot of damage. And the Mystic Stake does work. Now, if you had a stick, I'd be okay with it. So, the Medusa can only kill you based off of the Mystic Snake. Because if she's going to right-click you, you have the whatchamacallit, the Untouchable. So he's not going to really do a whole lot of damage. So you have to understand that how can you be killed? What sort of, like, yeah, you have your heal, but having like a stick, if she's going to continue to spam it out, then you get some sort of charge. You get something out of it, right? And also, I feel like you've been juggling, but you haven't gotten a neutral item. What's up with that? All right, Spectre here needs to pass off one of these two. There's really no reason to have two. Lion going to probably tick out. Yes. Okay, that's just embarrassing. Lion will go down there, but I think did make the pass off of the excuse me, of the arcane ring to Lion. Tiny here, protecting the rune, gets it. Okay, toss avalanche, but really not a whole lot of damage because the mana shield. Okay, so Oracle's actually going Force Staff first, which is fine. Blade Mail, okay, now into Blink, that's also fine. But again, like, you were winning all 3 lanes in the beginning. Like, if you're looking at that, why did you fall off, right? When you have a slight advantage, you need to ensure that you're constantly pulling, constantly putting the wave in that perfect position for Spectre to be farming. You need to understand how to do that and create space. Now he's kind of even, and if you're looking at it, the Warlock and the Mirana are in perfect position. Like, yeah, net worth, yeah, is a little bit low, but look at this. They're both here, and they're both, doing all right, and they're getting in position to get the creeps for themselves because the lane is in a perfect spot. Spectre's kind of very hesitant. At this point, you should be more powerful than this Mirana. You have way more of a net worth, but you're not feeling it because you didn't take advantage of that slight advantage that you had in the laning phase. Okay? And this comes back to support and also your play. With spamming of the daggers and all that stuff, you're not making use of the resources that you have. So you need to be careful in that sense. You need to understand, like, again, why are you spamming? Well, you're pushing the lane, so you're going to push the lane so that it's here again, right? That's not helpful to you. Like, you want, and now the golem gets dropped. Soul Eater, you're running for your life. They see the mango tree. Warlock Golem kind of going through. You do have dagger if you want to run. Okay, you can run out, and you'll kind of save yourself. And at the same time, they do get a duel, so they get something out of that. Okay, so 3-man rotation there. I don't think they got the finger. Oh, she timed it incorrectly. Okay, Lion. I'm not saying you need to get the kill, but you need to ensure that when you do use the finger, that he's about to die in the next 1 or 2 hits. So half or less than half. Okay, they do get the Warlock here. They do have the Haunt. They do see the Golem. They do get that. All right, and so he haunted on in, but instead of going all the way through, he just went to the creeps. A giant rotation. Enchantress is here with the Dragonlance, and wow, Oracle just walking like completely didn't see what was going on. And through that all, there was a nice deny by Lion. That's good. And a Yule's on Tiny. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Blink is better, just because of the initiating. But yeah, you have a little bit of a power spike. Golem is down. CK is completely in another lane. Another thing that you can start prioritizing is maybe the outpost. I think that's something that you should be looking for. But this is the moment where you need to, especially if the Enchantress is here. You don't have a mid lane. Okay, so they need to suspect that there's some sort of ward there. How did they see that creep, right? You need to understand that they have vision. Oh, they ping it out now. But if you're going to make a rotation like that, you got to get something out of it. You got the Warlock, maybe, but then you didn't push and you did 0 damage to this tower. So as a team, that's a fail. Okay? You're wasting time. You had 4 people there, and you got 0 tower damage objectives. And now, look it. More rotations. This is generally just a giant waste of time. What are you doing? Spectre, what are you doing? You've got completely zoned out by a Warlock. You're afraid of a Warlock. Okay? Yeah, you're Spectre. Yeah, you're weak. But why are you weak? Okay, here comes the arrow. You do need to be careful. You don't have any vision, so you do need to be careful in that sense. But it all comes back to snowballing at the 5 to 10 minute mark, right? And now you're in a bad spot. You're gonna try to run. Mind you, you don't actually have to go through the. Oh, they don't see you. Okay, you were close, but hey, when you dagger through, you can go anywhere. You don't actually have to go on that line that your spectral dagger made. Just so you know. Okay, so a little bit of pressure bottom. Glyph has been used. Stun on in. Oh, and they pull you back in. Greenspan is in a bad spot. You need a blade mail just because. Fortune's end. You might as well use it because now's the time. If there's what's the point now? You get pulled back in. He's got crazy amount of cooldowns, right? I mean, the only way I can really think of that is that maybe you wait for him to ult with all of his illusions and to pull you in, and then you overwhelming odds on top of that. So you do most damage on top. You do the AoE damage, so to speak. So just something that you could maybe do. But again, you kind of need to, it's like a feel, you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, I've been hitting this tower for some time and I'm by myself. You have to get that feeling that, oh shit, these guys are coming. There's a tower, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to TP on in. They're going to do it out of sight. So you need to be a little bit careful, and that's just kind of a feel that you get when you just play this game. Clarity should be out. You need the Staff of Wizardry out there as soon as possible. This is 1,000 gold, right? Your mana clarity is what, 50? So just think about it, right? Are you taking full advantage of all of the items that you have? You are not. Right? So even when you farm, even when you, whatever it is, like you're trying to make a kill, you need to always ensure that all of your best items are forward, you know? Like, you have a Porsche, right? But you're still fucking driving the Toyota. Why are you driving the Toyota? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so here comes the Golem, 2-man stun, nice there, but I don't think they're going to be able to get anything out of this. 0 to hero, oh my gosh, what is that finger? You got nothing out of that, and you're definitely not going to get the kill on that one. Okay, so here comes the duel. You do get that in. The Moonlight is being used, but he's still going to end up getting the dual damage for that. Greenspan is here as well, and they're getting CK very, very low, but the Moonlight, again, no dust. Oh my god, this is a travesty. Okay? Okay. Anytime you see a Mirana level 6 in the lane, supports, everybody starts needing getting dust. And this is not just on the supports, this is on everyone. Okay? Everyone needs to contribute to this, because at any moment, a fight can happen. And as you saw, the Moonlight saved his life. And he's going to look to turn this around and see what kind of damage they can do. Greenspan gets very, very low. Here comes a Stone Gaze. He does get him in. The Blade Mail's there, but I don't think that that's enough. He's going to try to heal himself out of this, but oh my gosh, he's very low. He's about 130. He's got Blink coming on in, but the Diffusal's there. Oh, but he gets tossed in. Cuckoo Link with a nice save. The Avalanche is up, and they do get the stun up on Yukita, and he's going to go down. And it looks like they're going to get him, and LC, wow, runs away. Saves himself, and now late Haunt. I don't know what that Haunt is there for, but he saw it. Fortune's End is going to slow him down, and that's going to be a lot for nothing. Oh, did they get this again? The Glimmer's going to save him. About 198 life. And again, no dust, right? That Haunt was very, very late. Yeah, Cuckoo Link was kind of going in solo, but now what are you doing, right? What are you going to try to do? Get this clumsy net out of there. You probably need to give that to somebody else. The Avalanche will save you for now, and you're going to run away. And Cuckoo Link just kind of escorting him back. But Lion, I don't know what you're doing. That positioning was terrible. Literally 4 shots and you're dead. Like, 1 shot took off a quarter of your life. So you have to understand what you're doing right here. Okay, so back to the Finger of Death. Yeah, you had the fight, and yeah, we yell at you for not using it, but that was a bad time to use it. The reason being is that you really had no chance to kill him. Okay, you have to understand where your team is. If you're up front like that, you're going to get focused, you're going to get blown up. So, in that sense, you need to understand that you're coming in later, right? Like, you're still up front. This is super scary. Okay, you did get the Oracle, but now you get pulled in and you get slaughtered like that, right? So, one time you're out of position, you just die. So, this is what I'm talking about. It's very, very careful. Oh, Greenspan, you got thrown on in and tossed on in. The Stone Gaze is going to lock you into place to heal. I don't even know. They do have the Maelstrom, so this is why Enchantress is good against right clickers, but they have a decent amount of magic damage. Like, literally this Medusa, who's super fat at this point with a Scotty at 24 minutes, and the fortuitous Imp Claw right there. Like, she can just start hitting creeps, and that bounce will just end up killing you. So, yeah, you're good against right clickers or whatever, but you have to understand where the hero kind of falls off or what it's not good against, right? So, in the sense that, like, Hurricane Pike, you need to just make sure that you're always in and out. Cuckoo Link, oh, you're getting slowed. That's Scotty doing a lot of work, and that Golem's going to kill you. And cancel that TP? Nope. Okay, you're just going to sacrifice yourself for no reason. 0 to hero. I don't know why you TP'd that. You're just going to die as well. And, again, this is the snowball effect. All of these little things that you're thinking, oh, where did we go wrong? What did I do? It all comes back to that first 5 to 15-minute mark. That area is super important. Because you had peaks. You were actually winning. But it's like, oh, now why am I losing? And if you're looking at kills, 11 to 8, that doesn't seem that bad. 5K, also somewhat, reasonable. You can still come back. But morale-wise, your team is in a world of hurt. Okay? You guys are very behind, and I'm sure you guys are like, oh, shit, we are fucked. We are dead. Right? So this changes the entire mentality of the game and everything. They have, if you're looking at vision alone, look at this. Radiant side. Look how aggressive these wards are, right? This all comes back. She sees the stack, and she can farm knowing that there's nothing you can do. She's that strong. She has Scotty. Like, there's nothing. She just stole that stack under you, right? So all of that time that you wasted gets the rune. Kind of, and that should be about 3. So again, like, you kind of, like, let's see what's going on. The Haunt on in, the Spectre, but, like, that's not the one you really want. The duel, the Stone Gaze is there, and he's looking to turn this around. And, like, here comes the Cavalry, assuming that she survived. Now she's getting low. Okay, she does die in the end, so she cannot 1v5, but at what cost? Tiny goes down already. Lion is the next one up. Greenspan as well. I mean, 3 for 1. Yeah, you lost the Medusa, but that's the mid. Remember, the safe lane was your CK, who's got Desolator at this point, which is a huge power spike at this point, with Echo Saber. And look, 24 seconds, none of you guys have buyback. This is going to be the T2, which is fine. I feel like the T2s are the worst towers in the game. Not an issue there. But with the Catapult, like the timing of that, and the fact that it literally took you, all 5 of you guys, to kill that, you know, the Medusa. And hang on, let me see how much gold you got for that. You got 321 gold, right? Where you gave up, you lost 3 wards, or sorry, 3 people, 212, 268. Like, it's pretty massive, right? It really wasn't worth it in the end. And if you're looking at the net worth, Medusa still tops. Yeah, she's dead for another 16 seconds. So you have to understand how to take the fight when you're, you know, when you're strong, and trying to get some sort of pickoffs. Like, that Medusa fight where all 5 of you guys were on him took a lot of time, and you knew that the reinforcements are coming. So you need to know, hey, Stone Gaze is coming. Do we continue this? What do we do, right? And obviously you made the call of to just continue to fight, but once you get that, you know, you got the Medusa, you got to run. You got to stun out. You got to get what you save what you can and get on out of there, because there's really no point in continuing to fight. All right, so if we're looking at the next piece, here comes the Diffusal. Soul Eater completely out of position, and this comes back to you're too far up. You have no vision here. This T1 is still up, and then that was super dangerous, right? And now you're, as the carry, dying to that with no backup is just it's game losing. This is like a snowball thing. Now, you know, it was what, 11-9, now it's 15-9. Things are getting from bad to worse, and they're going to look to Moonlight. They're going to look to just try to get what they can. They're taking your outposts. They're taking, you know, they have almost full map control. And Kukulink is here. They do see Nikomoto, and they do see a Greater Fairy Fire. If they wanted to steal that, they could. But they don't, and they go for the Enchantress instead. So, again, Enchantress, not that strong if you're going up against a lot of illusions, right? Yeah, the one attack that they do is slow, but it doesn't really matter. That one attack that they're going to get, and by the time the second strike happens, they have the Chaos Strike up again. So Enchantress this is why she's good against certain heroes. She can be a bit of a noob killer, because sometimes it's just like, what the hell, like, I can't kill her. But if you have the right amount of magic, you right amount of, you know, this is the nice team synergy, I would say, that to kind of just counter all of this. So, and another thing that you really might want to consider is maybe going like a BKB. Which is very, very late, and you're very behind. If you're looking at net worth, you've completely fallen off. You're below, you know, your LC. Marana's even super, like, even lower, which is even more worrying, I would say, for the Radiant side. That's kind of odd that the Warlock is so high. But, mind you, the Warlock is so close to Ags. Once he gets to Ags, it's fucking game over. Like, this Warlock can do so much work. The Ghoul. Okay, so now you're going to try to get back into it by a smoke gank. You need to get lucky. They're pinging out the outpost, but I don't think that that's the play, because you're going to give up your vision, or you're going to give up where you are. Now, if you're looking at vision alone, dire. So this lane is pushing, and then you should see Medusa and the CK, and you should know right away no one is going to be around. Right? Because you expect the supports to be hiding behind both of them. Now you do see the Warlock. All of these guys are on vision. So you've wasted smoke and you've wasted time. So through that all, what could you have done? You could have gotten Roche. You could have gotten the T1 tower. But instead, now you're looking to take the T1 tower. So that movement was very, very slow. The TPs are coming on in. They do have the reinforcements. Medusa's also in position. The Avalanche is too fast. They do get the toss up, but that's a Medusa, and that's not something you want to fight. He does have it there. He's going to slow him on down. The Fortune's End hitting on to 2. And the Mystic Snake doing a lot of work. He's been silenced one more time, and here comes more reinforcements. All 5 fortunes and one more time he gets pulled on back. Cuckoo Link, she's probably gonna dead. The Yule's up, it doesn't really matter, and that's gonna be a free tiny. And through that all, there's really not much you can do. I mean, yeah, it could have haunted, but I don't think that was really worth it. Clumsy Net is a terrible item for you, Spectre. You do not want to be using that because that pins you into place. And it comes back to your itemization. I think I talked to you about this, about the Radiance, right? So Radiance is great for the slow burn, right? Things that are going to want to right-click you. If you're looking at things that are trying to right-click you, Oracle's not going to do it, Warlock's not going to do it, Mirana's not going to do it. Medusa, yes. But Medusa is kind of so far ahead right now that your Radiance is minimal, right? You need some sort of way to kind of get through this Mana Shield. She's so tanky right now. Like, maybe even a Diffusal at this point. Just some way to kind of deal with this. Because at the end of the day, you need to man-fight Medusa. And you need to set yourself up for that. Right now, you're not set up for anything. You have Radiance. You have a terrible Clumsy Net, which doesn't really give you any damage, which is what you need. Sorry, there's a fight coming up, and someone's looking to do a high five. Cuckoo Link just in a bad spot again, and it gets pulled on back. And this is the power of the CK, right? Yes, it's going to fall off, but look, Echo Saber, Desolator, and then the Heart, okay? You went Radiance, which doesn't really give you a whole lot of damage, 60 damage, but no other stats, so you're not tankier. The right-click damage that's coming at you is going to be from the CK and the Medusa, and again, we talked about that, and then all of these other ones are just going to burst you down with magic, and you suffer against magic. Enchantress, you also suffer against magic, that is. Okay? So all of these, you're not itemizing properly, or picking the right heroes. If you're going to pick Spectre, and again, I don't know the draft order of how you did everything, but you need to Hurricane Pike yourself right now, or Force Staff yourself away. Okay, you got lucky on that one. The heal is there, but it looks like they're just going to free siege that. Spectre's continuing to push, and they do see him, so they know that they have full reign on this. And Spectre, you need to, like, if the fight's gonna go in, you need to haunt on in, you need to get something. You need to haunt now. Okay, now it's too late. So Spectre, I don't know what you're doing. Like, like 2 of your heroes are dead. Like, you have to potentially kill Oracle. You need to make sure that he dies, because then, you know, Oracle basically limits what LC can do. There's like a whole chain reaction. People need to die. People need to be prioritized. And you lost Rax, and you lost 2 heroes. You did not fight properly. Now you're 17k behind. So these are the type of games where things can go from bad to worse, because it's a series of bad decisions, bad things that happen. And like skill-wise, I think that, you know, in a team fight, relatively even, right? But it's how you move your team, how you kind of, you know, take objectives, how you there's so much more to Dota than just being able to lane, okay? And in the first 5-10 minutes, you lost, right? And that's kind of where I'm seeing the struggle. I think that you can really improve on that, just kind of getting better in that sense. Because, again, it's really just about making sure that you're doing the right decisions. Like, you're focusing on the right things. Like, I don't know why you have this trusty shovel up when it's off cooldown, right? When it's on cooldown, I get it. Swap it with the Van Brace, you know, do more damage, and now it's going to be a free Roshan. I don't think there's anything that really the Dire team can do. They do have Medusa up on that side, but here comes a Moonlight, and it's going to get thrown on, and Lion gets destroyed. Cuckoo Link tries to use himself up again, but to what extent? This is why the Yules is a bad item choice for you. I think that if you got Blink, you blink on in, maybe toss him on out, stop the Roche or whatever. But Yules is like, you throw yourself up, but okay, that's just, you know, just kind of delaying the inevitable, I would say. Because you threw yourself up, but you have really no way to escape. Like, if you had Blink, you have a way to blink on out. If you had Yules and Blink, obviously you use yourself, and then when the cooldown is off, and then when it lands, you can kind of blink yourself forward, right? So there are different ways to kind of, other ways to move out in that sense. But yeah, so that's a free Roshan there. And all you have is high ground. This game is going to be over very, very soon. I mean, it was kind of just, it's going from bad to worse, right? For Steph on Oracle. Actually, this Oracle is pretty fat. If you're looking at it now, oh crap. Okay, not as fat as I thought, but, you know, I mean, when it's close to your mid, I think at this point you can see just how bad things are going, right? Like, your Enchantress is not doing well. You don't have the damage for it. You don't have the... If you're going to go in a... Oh my gosh, Lion, you're going to die. But you need some way to kind of... You need to outfight this. And Enchantress, in my opinion, she's terrible at coming back. She's very good, you know, when she can... She's a lane dominator. And once she does really well in the lane, obviously that's kind of where you want to be. In the sense of just kind of controlling the lane and everything. But if you're ever behind, this is what happens. Blade Mail, don't matter. Is dead. Haunt, very, very late. Golem, the double one with the Ags, gets pulled on in. Yule's just, you know, again, slowing down, but not really much you can do. Kukulink's going to go down there. And 0 to hero, Stone Gaze, you don't want to face her, and now you're stuck into place. Both of you guys, you should have just ran, right? Stone Gaze comes up, you got to run. Nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. And so that's going to be a pretty much a team wipe. Enchantress is still there. Not really anything you can do to kind of just stop this. The snowball. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went throne. Okay, they're going for it. But man, look at how fat this guy is. Hurricane Pike or not pull you through. Really not much you can do. And here come the clones. Illusion Army, and that's going to be death. And yeah, it looks like they're going to go straight up throne. Obviously, you do have buyback. I mean, you might as well use it. Unless it's just like a straight up GG and you just want to end it. But, okay, they do. Oracle taking a lot of damage, but arrow, it does connect. It should be thrown back. The Enchantress will probably die for that one little shot. And again, just more shots in. The creeps are doing their job. Creeps are MVP, and this is just going to be... Medusa? Survives. Okay, and here we go. GG. Glyph is being used for some unknown reason. Here comes the duel. And he doesn't get it. Oracle ends up with the dual damage, and of course that will be the Ancient. So GG, 36 minutes, 32-10. This is one of those games where, hey, you see the first 5-10 minutes, kind of see how things go. Those decision making. If you guys are playing as a team, you really need to understand what you're doing wrong, right? Like the things like the itemization, not great. And I hope you learned something. My name is Hauler. Feel free to tune in. I'll be streaming more, and not just these guys' games, but probably other people as well. So feel free to reach out to me if you want your game analyzed, and I'll be happy to do that. Thank you so much.